And now making his entrance to the ring, welcome the former IBF Flyweight World Champion, Amnat Ruenroeng.
As mentioned before, former IBF Champion of the World. Speaking to him earlier on today, it's very hard to get a grip with these fighters with the conditions at the moment, but I managed to have a quick chat with him. He said he's feeling good. He said he's feeling up for this fight. Even if he could put on just a good performance or even win, but just a good performance would give him the platform to go for another title somewhere, perhaps in the future.
Yeah, Amnat had his best success as a professional in the flyweight division. Of course, as you mentioned, former IBF World Champion of Flyweight turned pro back in 2012. Won that title against Rocky Fuentes in 2014, made 5 defenses in that of that belt, and of course eventually lost it to the current
and
WBO
now, ladies
World
and gentlemen,
Champion,
coming to the
Casimiro.
ring, the former 2-time WBC World Champion, the former ring champion at Super Flyweight. Give it up for Srisaket, Rungvisai.
And here he is, the man you've all tuned in for this card this afternoon. What a fantastic fighter, what a fantastic story. And today, if we can get a win here today, as we've mentioned before, lining up for the fight against the unification fight between Estrada and Chocolatito Gonzalez.
Yeah, quite possibly if Gonzalez wins, a trilogy with Gonzalez or the double with Estrada.
We were speaking about it, which way would the corner want? I mean, maybe they'd want the Gonzalez as they feel that it's the style better suited for him, but the trilogy, the other way with the Estrada, that's one for the fans as well.
Yeah, what a story Srisaket is. A rags to riches. He was a security guard in a construction site. He was a bin man. He went from bin man to boxing superstar. That's an incredible story when you think about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event we have all been waiting for. 10 rounds of boxing action between 2 living legends from Thailand. Broadcasting live to fight fans all over the world via Workpoint Channel, Matchroom Boxing Channel, and ESPN Knockout. This is WP Boxing! Ladies and gentlemen, our first fighter here, fighting out of the blue corner and wearing black. He's a top-level Muay Thai fighter, amateur boxing Olympian, and legendary professional boxer. He's the former IBF World Champion and the conqueror of multiple world champions, such as Zhao Chuming, Kazuto Ioka, Jean-Rel Casimiro. His fight record stands 20 victories, 6 knockouts, and only 3 losses. From Thailand, give it up for Amnat Ruenroeng. And his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner, wearing yellow. He's the 2-time WBC Super Flyweight World Champion and the former ring champion, the conqueror of then pound-for-pound King, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. His outstanding professional boxing record stands at 47 victories, 41 knockouts, 1 draw, and only 5 losses. The pound-for-pound star and the fighting pride of Thailand. Give it up for Srisaket Rungvisai.
Okay, Amnat will be very competitive. Here we go with the tail of the tape. Obviously the age there, 40 years old. Can you see any discrepancies there for yourself?
The only obvious discrepancy is the age, but then the Amnat had his better days at flyweight. But that was 6 years ago. Naturally, he has put on weight since then, and he believes with his strong evasive skills and defensive and boxing prowess, he's going to give Srisaket a good competitive fight today.
He will. He keeps a very, very tight guard. He'll take some shots on that high guard, but then come back with a quick flurry of his own. Very fast hands.
2-time Olympian, let's not forget that, 2008, 2016, and a former IBF. And he went on a fantastic run in 2014 when he beat Fuentes for the IBF World title. A year and a half, 5 defenses, eventually losing it to Casimiro. But the man standing in front of him, the pressure fighter, the southpaw, relentless barrage of boxing, punches, power punches. He has a bantamweight power.
This is one of the things I was going to mention earlier that we're going to definitely see from Srisaket. He's going to attack that body with the hands held high. Srisaket's going to go for that body, and he's got some serious power to take him down with that.
And if you watch Srisaket's corner, you can literally hear them when they say, moo, 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 the hands. He has got that one weakness where Srisaket drops his hands. His corner is just constantly telling him, hands. In other words, keep them up.
And this Amnat's got the speed to get the punches through, but doesn't necessarily have the power to really hurt Srisaket, I don't think. Good fast combination there. He does have fast hands.
Scheduled for 10 rounds. Both boxers weighed in yesterday, 120 pounds. Srisaket, the global boxing superstar. Amnat, the former world champion.
We were mentioning the rags to riches story for Srisaket. It's a very different story for Amnat. He learned his boxing in prison. He was in prison for 15 years. After 1 year, put on the boxing program, won the title, moved out. Won his amateur, very strong amateur pedigree as well, as you mentioned before.
Yeah, very two-time Olympian. 2008, he got to the quarterfinals. 2016, got knocked out in the second round. Looking fit and strong at 40, Amnat.
Seems to be conserving his energy. Seeing him to win. Nice combination there.
It's all about how he handles the pressure. When Srisaket dips the head, starts walking forward, and unleashes that left hand, it's all about how Amnat can he contain that, can he negate that power.
Amnat fought Nawaporn 2 years ago and gave him all sorts of trouble for the first 3 rounds until the heavy shots of Nawaporn took him down, stopped the fight. Again, good feet, good movement. And that's a very intelligent pro, keeping his range, keeping away from Srisaket at the moment. Turning him very nicely.
Of course, Srisaket, a two-time former WBC super flyweight world champion. 2013 against Yota Sato from Japan was his inaugural WBC title when he would stay away from the danger zone, work your jab, keep him at bay with the jab. Here we go, round number 2.
Trying to open up straight away. Obviously, we've got a southpaw here in Srisaket. Sometimes the feet get tied up a little bit. Keeping the range nicely. Exactly where he wants to be at the moment.
Srisaket's one of these fighters. He's very heavy-footed. He didn't have an amateur pedigree, didn't have an amateur background. He's just one of these, like, he's got 2 blocks on his feet, but he's got such power. It's incredible. You don't want to stand and trade with him.
So blocks in the feet, they're planted as he hits those shots. Nice counter there.
Yeah,
for
good
Amnat.
timing.
Very composed here by Amnat. Doing very well in his early rounds. Nice again, very well timed counter.
Yeah, he's got his defensive timing down to a T right now in the second round. And we talked about that earlier. He's got hand speed, even at 40 years of age. He hasn't lost the hand speed.
Seems to be knowing exactly the range at the moment. Tactics are working very well for him.
And his team talked about earlier, they believe they're the key to success. They didn't think they were going to knock Srisaket out in this fight, but over 10 rounds to win the early rounds, grind out the rounds, and see how Srisaket deals with that later on in the fight.
He had very good success again with Nawaporn in those first early rounds. It's when it gets to round 3 and 4, Srisaket trying to move up, step through the gears. That's when we'll see what Amnat's got. Well timed again, Amnat.
Yeah, Amnat's not a KO artist. I think he runs at about 25% KO ratio throughout his career. So he's a points fighter. He's a distance fighter.
Very clever work.
He's got to move his head more. He's got to stay elusive, stay evasive.
Again, good footwork, turning the man. Srisaket will be moving downstairs when he can get in close. And with no crowd here, we'll hear the crunching body shot soon enough.
And Amnat will look to do that when they get in close. Tie him up. Don't allow him to unleash that power on the inside. Of course, you look back at all the Srisaket's, when he gets in the middle, when he gets in close, what he did to Gonzalez in California, just incredible, the power. He's a power puncher, and as we mentioned earlier, he boxes and has the power of a bantamweight. He's fought his entire career, professional career at super flyweight. A couple of early fights at flyweight, but the majority of his professional career has been at super fly.
He lost 3 of his first 5 fights, all 3 of those fights were fought in Japan as well. He did have the 1 draw. That was against Nawaporn. Maybe sometime in the future we'll get to see a rematch of that.
Srisaket's trainer there, Popchai, just telling him, you didn't listen to me at the start of round 2. You got to step it up here going into round 3.
And there we have it, round 3. Scheduled for 10.
Srisaket's timing is a little off in the early rounds.
Amnat's distance is just that bit, he's just that bit out. Again, timed a beautiful shot, Amnat, having good work. I knew he'd have good work in these early rounds, but this is where Srisaket wants him. Up close, body shots.
Be interesting to see if Amnat can keep that distance pace for 10 rounds, because he has to continuously move, and he's using energy. Can he maintain that over 10 rounds, potentially if it goes the distance? Big overhand left by Srisaket. Another one.
Southpaw. Stance getting those shots through now.
Yeah, you can see the concentration in his eyes. He's stepping it up a little bit. Oh, clash of heads.
Winced a little bit, but can't see any referee going to take him to the corner.
Can't see it on the camera right now, but maybe there's a cut there.
Can't see anything at the moment. Well, there's some blood coming down here. There is.
Referee had to have a reason to stop to call a halt, for a temporary halt. Let's see. Is it under? It's in the eyelid.
That's not what he wanted here today at all. Referee taking a close look at that. You're saying it's on the eyelid, under the eyebrow instead of the eyelid?
Seems to be, yeah. The doctor's having a good inspection of it. Let's see.
And that's an accidental clash of heads. Seems to have stopped the bleeding at the moment. Fight can carry on there.
Yes, referee giving his professional opinion. Fight continues. Accidental clash of heads. Of course, throughout Srisaket's career, it's the style of his boxing. I mean, if the Cuadras fight, when you go back to it, the fight was stopped because of a clash of heads, and Cuadras was ahead on the scorecards. Srisaket lost that fight, and again, he was deducted a point against Roman Gonzalez for the accidental clash of heads.
So this is going to change the dynamic and the pace of the fight here that Srisaket is going at. He knows now that he's got to up that pace, but it's spurring Amnat into action as well. Nice flurries by Amnat, moving out of range as well.
Amnat said during the week in interviews he will surprise a lot of people. He said he has trained for this fight because this fight was scheduled twice this year.
Scheduled for March initially,
and May. So he said he has been training with the mindset that the fight can be any day, any week, with the uncertainty with the coronavirus.
Good shots by Amnat as well. That blood's coming down into the eye as well.
He's just allowing Srisaket to let that left hand go, and as soon as the glove touches the face, he comes back with his own counter. Nice work by Amnat so far.
He's always been very good at covering up and then seeing where the actual flurry of the opponent finishes to unleash a quick 1-2, step out of range.
He's an intelligent boxer.
Uppercut inside as well by Amnat. Leaped into that shot by Srisaket.
Bit early to say that Amnat's taking him into deep waters, but I think Srisaket's frustrating himself right now. It almost looks like that.
Fighters coming to the centre of the ring. Round 4 underway. Love to see Srisaket trying to step it up that bit more. And let's get those quick hands. He's getting through those shots beautifully. Moving well, taking those on the gloves.
Here Srisaket's corner team continuously telling him to keep those hands high. He's got to find that power. He's got to find that accuracy. He's got to become that pressure fighter everyone knows That's his strength. He's got to keep walking forward. He's got to walk Amnat down.
Not really seen him put the pressure on like we've normally seen him. Not going up through those gears at all. So another clash of heads with it over
Very
the
close.
right hand.
Very close. And let's not forget, Srisaket hasn't been in action since April of last year when he fought Estrada. It's been quite some time out of the ring, so ring rust will be a factor today. There's no doubt about that.
With the fight being on, off, and the period that they've been training for, any chance of overtraining on that
Oh,
side?
of course, and plus the psychological side of it, the effect on your mindset when you peak, when you yeah, of course, definitely. But these are elite athletes. Srisaket is a bona fide superstar. He's got to prepare for these roadblocks, so to speak. And the coronavirus has been quite a roadblock.
I think Amnat with that time to prepare has been beneficial, more so for him. Trying to go downstairs, he's keeping that guard tight, Amnat.
And his corner team, his head trainer, Srisaket's trainer, just body. Why are you not working the body?
Try to work the body there, went a little low. There's a good shot getting across.
And is Amnat slowing down a bit now from those body shots, or is it just...
Getting caught again with that right hand.
We all know from watching Srisaket, he will get caught. He'll get caught continuously throughout the fight. It's his offense, which overcomes his defense.
He's very much willing to take those shots to land his own.
He has been in some incredible wars, and he's in a little bit of a skirmish right now against Amnat.
It's not just his timing, it's his accuracy that's off as well. There's nothing really hit the mark cleanly at all.
We can give him a little bit of forgiveness. It's been over a year. April 2019 was the last time he was in the ring. And it was that unanimous decision loss against Juan Estrada.
Amnat catching some beautiful shots there, pushing him back as well. Amnat very happy with this at the moment in the corner.
Very happy. We're really enjoying this fight. Round 5 of 10. Let's see what Srisaket brings to the table here in the 5th round.
Can't get through that guard. I know there's quite a few people thought it may be over by now, but it's far from over. Strong shots in return by Amnat. Quick hands. Some good shots, good body shots there by Srisaket. Amnat's covering up nicely, popping out that jab, moving well.
With time, Amnat is the bigger man. He's the bigger man today. They weighed in yesterday at 120 pounds. He's utilizing that power today, and the speed and the distancing and the defensive work. Excellent work by Amnat so far.
Good, strong, heavy shots, but Amnat just comes straight back, firing back.
So far, Srisaket has not been able to figure out the way through.
Amnat's guard tight, positioning, moving to the side as well. Controlling the range. And it seems like the pace of the fight here as well. Good combinations again by Amnat.
Amnat's just content just to sit back up, allow Srisaket to come in, press in, and he's just waiting, luring him into a false sense of offensive security, and then just picks him off with 1 or 2 shots. They're scoring. Hypothetically, obviously the judge's mindset.
Good strong shots there, going downstairs as well. As soon as he takes the shots, Amnat fires straight back as well.
Amnat's got a very tight guard that Srisaket's just not penetrating right now.
Walk straight into the shot there, going by Amnat. With Srisaket not pressing forward as fastly as he should, as quickly as he should, Amnat's quite happy at that pace, just to keep out of range, keep the pace slow, conserve his energy.
I mean, up at super bantamweight, which technically this fight is in at 120 pounds weighing in yesterday. Srisaket, it's quite evident, doesn't have the power at this division. So going down to super flyweight naturally for him, he has the power, which gives him a great advantage in terms of the world championship fights. Amnat is not only weathering the storm right now, he's creating his own little...
Shot a bit low there. Lots of blood coming out of that eye. Seems to be able to see clearly though, but still off target.
Yeah, the blood won't phase him. 10 seconds left in the 5th round.
Shot there. Trickling down the face every time at the end of the round, coming back to the corner to clean it up and try and tidy it up. Second half of the fight here, round 6 underway.
Plenty of positivity in the corner team of Srisaket Rungvisai. You like to see that, pushing him, urging him forward, telling him to stick. Come on, keep the action going, keep pressuring him. You'll find your way through. It seems to be the message from Srisaket Rungvisai's team there on the break between round 5 and 6.
Yeah, will the longer the fight goes be worse for Amnat? At the moment it's not showing that way. Working that jab nicely, keeping his range. Catching with the right, slipping as well.
Yeah, we knew coming into this fight that he's got fantastic evasiveness, defensive evasiveness skills. And he seems to be using them. So far, so good.
Just get walked into an uppercut there as well. Combination, moving around, getting out of range.
He's using the angles of the ring and the positioning very craftsman-like as well. Excellent work by Amnat so far.
Timing him again, beautiful work. Everything's going quite well for him at the moment.
Yeah, the elder statesman, so to speak, he's utilizing the ring to absolute perfection for what he wants to do.
Just get stalking him down, trying to get him against the ropes. He needs to unload more when he's got him in those positions. He needs to trap him against ropes, but slippery customer Amnat. Tight guard.
Even when he throws that right hand there, Srisaket, there doesn't seem to be any venom behind the punch, no fire, no nastiness behind those punches.
Seems to be lacking something, lacking that spark that we're all so accustomed to. Some solid shots there getting through. Timed that beautifully. What a beautiful counter there. Just as he knew he was going to be against the ropes, stepped off to the side.
And in his defense on the whole power thing, I guess we've got to remember that he is fighting a weight, potentially 2 weight divisions above his super flyweight division today. So this is where he gets success. Pin him to the ropes, work the body, then go up top. Doesn't seem to be doing that enough though in the contest.
It's a nice crisp shot over the top there. He's pushing forward that bit more now. Having a little bit more success as this goes on.
Yeah, and his manager did talk to us during the week that if the fight goes to the latter stage of the fight, they would be working on the ethos that Srisaket will be the younger, more energetic boxer.
Let's see if he can push forward Srisaket for how he was doing in the 6th round as we go into round number 7.
He's got to let that nasty streak go. He's got to let it go here in the 7th round. We saw glimpses of it at the end of the 6th. He's got to let that go now. He's got to show no mercy.
Good strong body shot. There has been that question with nobody in attendance. Does that hinder a fighter or help? Some of them have said that in the amateurs they had no audiences, so it's got to be different than fighting in the biggest stadiums in the world with thousands of people cheering you on to, of course, a max of 50 people.
I mean, you just got to go back to Srisaket won the WBC world title for the first time. He was cheered on by thousands in his home province. When he fought in Madison Square Garden, the audience fell in love with him in a packed out arena. They just have to get used to this right now. It's a global thing.
Good work downstairs a moment ago for Srisaket. Trying to push forward. He's not really wanting to work too strongly behind a jab, Srisaket. He likes to come forward with his power shots.
He's not going to change his way of boxing now at this stage in his career, 33 years of age. He's had great success behind his style.
Move forward more aggressively here. He's doing well in the 6th round. Hasn't really connected with anything of any significance here in round 7.
When we talk about his style, go back to the Estrada fight, the early parts of that fight. They went for a complete different game plan, and it obviously didn't work for them. They had better success in the second half of that fight, but of course, Estrada became the new WBC world champion in that fight.
Strange tactics in that fight. For the Southpaw fighter to be fighting orthodox.
Now the pressure is coming, now the volume of punches are coming, now the positioning, now the movement.
And you see Amnat isn't too comfortable at the moment. Yeah, this is it. This is where the power shots come in. Came back with a beautiful shot of his own though.
Seems to have a renewed sense of enthusiasm here, which was sprung by the end of the 6th round. Smirk from Amnat.
Putting those body shots in. Crisp right hand for Amnat. Still beautiful tight guard by Amnat. Good shots there. Both get one side of the guard.
But it's a great challenge for a boxer to find ways inside that guard. It tests your intelligence as a boxer to find ways inside.
It's not always going to go your way, and you've got to find a way. That's the chess match of it all.
Yeah, you got to.
Round 8 underway. Some good shots straight off the bat for Srisaket. Round 6 and 7, definitely up the gears. Amnat looking that little bit more tired now.
Yeah, potentially 9 minutes left. As you can see, Srisaket get the stoppage that he has desired.
Walked right in that. Shot still by Amnat. Got him in that position. Needs to take more advantage of that, I'd say.
He's got some beautiful skills for a 40-year-old boxer. Defensive skills. Tight, high guard, good head movement.
He's a good counter puncher as well. Knows how to slip, move, counter, and get out of the way.
But the danger is always lurking with a guy like Srisaket. You know, there's always that potential for the KO. Has he got the power up at this weight now, 120 pounds? Obviously, Amnat, the weight in this at 120. He looks like a super featherweight today. So let's see if he got the power to stop. Beautiful uppercuts from Amnat.
He's got those through a few times. Ooh, strong shot there by Srisaket. Rocked Amnat's head back. So when those shots finally connect, that's when we'll see whether Amnat will unravel.
Amnat's breathing heavily now as well. You can see it.
Strong shot again. 2, 3 in a row.
It's relentless pressure now. This is the Srisaket boxing fans like.
See, Srisaket can take this and keep coming forward, keep coming forward. Can Amnat?
Here's the question. Did Srisaket frustrate himself that he wasn't able to get going in the opening part of the fight? Or did Amnat frustrate him?
I think a mixture of both. I'll give credit to Amnat. He's always been a very clever, crafty boxer. He's always going to have a very strong opening 1 to 4 rounds because of his style. It was always going to take a bit of time for Srisaket. I thought it would be done earlier than this, and that's done extremely well. Srisaket started to get into his game in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, the popular notion amongst boxing media and boxing fans throughout the week is that there was a big potential for an early stoppage here in favour of Srisaket. Amnat has proved plenty of people wrong.
Some body shots going in as well. He's trying to stand his ground though, Amnat, showing that he can slug with the best of them. Good body shots. One in return by Amnat.
Amnat just leaning on him now, leaning on him, trying to tie him up. One good thing about these no fans in stadiums, the one and only good thing, you can hear and feel the power, the velocity, the snap in the punches. Can you imagine what that's going to be like when Dillian
He's still standing up.
Also got to say, I'm really looking forward to Anthony Fowler, super welterweight, being back in action. He's fighting in the Matchroom Fight Camp show Friday the 7th. We've got a nice Fowler's one, just a good boxer. I like his style, I like the way he handles himself.
Round 9 underway here. Nice left hand going through by Srisaket. He's come back very well in the last 3 rounds. But it's very hard to say how those judges scored those first 5 rounds. Again, nice left hand. The pressure's getting to him now. He's moving forward. The gears definitely the gas has been pressed.
He's looking for the stoppage now.
That's what he needs to do. Body shots in close. Tape on the gloves needs to be dealt with.
Amnat has only 3 losses on his record, and only 2 by stoppage. Of course, that was the against now upon Srisaket stablemate, and of course the other one was against Casemiro back in 2016 when he lost his IBF fly world championship strap.
Nice another shot there.
Caught him with a lovely overhand right as well. Just walked into that Amnat. These are tough, man. These are tough competitors. These boys have been fighting all their lives for every scrap they've ever had, literally and proverbially, and it's beautiful to watch.
Amnat stock has risen in this fight. If you didn't know him so well, put on a great performance here. Halfway through the 9th round.
It's all about hunger and desire in this game.
Stalking him down, getting through some big shots now. It's uneasy on his legs, that just a bit of fatigue setting in. Can we see that? Getting through the guard.
It's the volume of punches now, and it's the fatigue setting in and that.
Even though those punches are hitting the arms and the gloves, it takes that little bit out of you, bit by bit. Slipping into shots.
Yeah, you can see Amnat's even his timing now is waning a little bit, slipping a little bit. But credit to Srisaket's Rungvisai. He's just walking him down now. He's looking for that one big shot, and the flurry is just relentless. And he's landing. He's getting more success now.
So I think he needs to keep pressure on the body, because Amnat's definitely slowing bit by bit. That body got through that left hook again. Body upstairs as well. Combinations from Srisaket. If they were going all for Amnat, it's hard to see. And here we come out for the 10th and final round.
2 former world champions. Both of them have put on a good showing for the fans today. You would not be disappointed watching this fight.
Is he going to go for the stoppage? We want to finish the job here.
I think he's been going for the stoppage since round 7. I just think that up at this weight division, maybe he doesn't have the power to stop a bigger guy like Amnat. Let's see. He's got just over 2.5 minutes to get that.
Working the body. Amnat's trying to conserve his energy here. Keeping that tight guard, but Srisaket getting through with a few good shots.
Yeah, the combinations. Like you said, he's going to find his way through. Such a difficult job, but an intriguing as a boxer to be in there against a guy like Amnat with such very, very strong prowess in his evasive skills and defensive skills.
Nice counter for Amnat. Just wants to keep out of range, keep pushing him over there, bundling him over.
Oh, just buying time now. I'm not just happy to stay on the back foot. Dance his way away, stay away from Srisaket here in the climatic 10th round.
Trying to move back, move out of the way, trying not to engage at all. He's moving forward again now, though.
I think he's moving forward so he can stay close to Srisaket. Keep him in a position where he doesn't have time to swing. Keep him tight, close to the body, wrap his body around him.
He looks tired here in the final minute of this round.
Nice snap right hand there from Amnat.
Good combination for Srisaket. Walking downstairs, trying to get that body. And Matt coming through with that. He's had a lot of his success with that kind of low right-hand uppercut all evening.
A good 10 rounds for both boxers in this fight. A good showing from both boxers. Srisaket very frustrated in the opening half of the fight. I think he was frustrated by himself, his own performance, and he was frustrated by the tactics of Amnat. Has had great success round 7, 8, 9, 10 again being tied up by Amnat. Amnat's finding very smart in this last round.
I think it's surprised a lot of people that this has gone or about to go the distance.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a spectacular fight we have just witnessed here between two legends of Thai boxing. Let's see how the judges scored this fight. I can tell you all, we have a winner by way of unanimous decision. Judge number 1 scored the fight 97-94. Judge number 2 scored it 96-93. And our third judge scored the fight 99-91. All for our winner here from the red corner, Srisaket Rungvisai.
There you have it,
Winner here. A great performance here.